course, the memorial going to be seen for the first time this morning by the families. It is called Reflecting Absence. And Robin, it is striking how much creativity and thoughtfulness has gone into producing this memorial.
And it took a lot of time, George, for that. And I have to tell you, I've seen it up close myself, and you can see it right here. And President Obama and Mrs. Obama, they were just there, as George Bush and his wife Laura Bush and their daughters were there. And you get to see the emotion when they would place their hands on the names and how the names were placed. A lot of thought went into that about how to place them, where to place them. Colleagues, co-workers, friends, families, and officials say they honored over 1,000 family requests, including that of Abby Goldman. Her best friend was working on the 96th floor of the North Tower when it was hit by Flight 11. Abby's father was on that flight, and she wanted her father's name to be placed alongside the name of her best friend. And that's just one aspect of the thought that went into rebuilding and remembering what happened here. A decade in the making, it has been called the most complicated construction site in the world, harnessing together architectural design, a sense of loss, and rebirth for the country and the victims' families. What are you hoping that they are going to experience and feel seeing the memorial?
The purpose of the memorial is to give families a place to grieve, to tell a story so that we don't forget that our freedoms are fragile.
With the 10th anniversary approaching, pressure mounted to get the 8-acre Memorial Plaza completed. Housed inside 16 acres of land, skyscrapers with office space, a museum set to open next September, and 2 memorial pools engraved with the 2,983 names of those lives lost.
The truth of the matter is, 10 years to do as much as we have done, I think, is very commendable.
So this is going to be the reflection pool over here? The progress made since I toured the site last year with New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Joseph Daniels, president of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, is clear. Trees now flourish. I cannot get over the change in a year. And here, the survivor's tree. Tell us about it.
This tree that survived on 9/11, 95% destroyed, and it's now flourishing amongst 225 other trees.
And the 2 pools are now flowing.
And now, the pools are done. This memorial fountain marking the very footprint of where the North Tower was. All the people that were in those buildings that day are around this pool. And to have their names, and even in the rain, it's almost like tears on the names themselves. And it's really, it feels like we marked this very sacred spot, and took a lot of work, but it's for the families and for the public, it's worth it.
Rain that day, but a beautiful blue sky today for the families, and they will get a chance, as we've been saying, for the first time to see it today. It will be open to the public beginning tomorrow at 10 a.m., 10 to 8 p.m. They're only going to be able to allow about 1,500 people a day at this point, and you have to go online to reserve a ticket. And you have to remember, this is still an active construction site, and so for the next year and a half, they're saying they're going to have to limit the number of people that are going to come here and be able to see for themselves this spectacular memorial.